Ever wonder where our recycling goes once it's been collected from our doorstep? We're here to take you on a journey, the journey of recycling. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's a phrase most of us are familiar with. The things we use, the stuff we buy, bottles, boxes, cardboard packaging. Some are made from raw materials that have been taken out of the ground. But the planet only has so much natural resource. We can't go on taking forever. We need to reduce and live in balance with nature, not just take. So where we can, we must reuse what we've already got again and again and again. If it can't be reused, rehomed or repaired, recycling is the next best option. But what actually happens to the stuff we put out for collection? What happens to the waste depends on a few things, such as where you live. Different councils may collect different materials in different ways. In St Helens, residents sort their recycling at home into separate bags and boxes before they are collected. Plastics and metals are recycled together, and paper, cardboard and glass are recycled separately. Upon collection, these items are placed into a specialist vehicle and taken to a central facility within the district. Dry recyclables are weighed before being offloaded separately. It is then bulked and sent to local reprocessors. In Halton, Knowsley, Liverpool, Sefton and Wirral, residents just need to separate the rubbish from the recycling. All recyclable materials can then be placed into one recycling bin, which is collected by the local council and delivered to our materials recovery facility. Our facilities process 80,000 tonnes of recyclable materials every year. That's more weight than over 13,000 African elephants. By putting the right materials in our recycling bins, we can capture even more materials, which can be recycled into new products. So, what actually happens in the materials recovery facility? On arrival, the collected materials are loaded onto a conveyor belt and checked by hand to remove contaminants. These are items which shouldn't be placed in your household recycling, such as batteries and bagged waste. This manual pre-sort stage is vital in keeping the whole recovery process safe and effective. Cardboard is separated out using a screen and is fed along a conveyor belt where it is checked before it is baled. Everything else drops below to a glass breaker screen, which breaks glass into smaller pieces. The broken glass drops through gaps in this screen. Everything left travels to a V screen. This separates 2D and 3D items. 2D items that are flat like paper float up and over the sides of the V screen, and the 3D items like plastic bottles and cans drop out onto their own conveyor belt. The 3D-shaped items travel under a magnet, which pulls out food tins, and what is left travels to an eddy current, which pushes aluminium drink cans onto another stream. These are checked and baled, ready to be shipped to companies to reuse the metals. Optical scanners are used to refine the quality of paper and on the plastic bottle line. Light is shone onto the materials, and anything which is detected as non-target for that line is pushed off the belt by a stream of air. Items that remain are checked and baled. Following a final manual post-sort, these products are packed and baled separately before being sold on. But this is not the end of the journey. Once recovered, these new products then go on for further processing. Cardboard is mainly processed here in the northwest to make cardboard products, lower-grade paper products and animal bedding. Recovered glass is taken to a specialist glass recycling plant at St Helens, where it's sorted again and refined by infrared scanners and robots. The glass is fed into a furnace, melted with other raw materials and processed into glass mineral wool, which is used to keep our homes warm. Steel cans are melted down to remove impurities and go on to make a wide variety of steel products, while recovered high-grade paper is reprocessed as newsprint and magazine paper stock. We supply recovered plastic bottles to a specialist plastics facility in the southeast, where they are processed into new bottles and various other plastic products. Our data shows that around 99% of the recycled materials stay in the UK. It's clear to see the importance of recycling. Remember, recyclable materials must be clean, loose and dry in your bin and not in a bag. If in doubt, check it out at recycleright.org.uk. Always recycle right.